Hey guys, this is Sal and welcome to one more awesome episode of Weekly Mastermind. And in this particular Weekly Mastermind session, we are actually going to do the overall top-down approach in the same way what we are doing since last almost 33 to 34 weeks. And in this particular Weekly Mastermind, we are actually going to look up at what all we saw in last 1 week of November month, although it was a combination of October end and November beginning. But still, that particular week has played a major role in the form of formation of base, but is this particular base gonna sustain in future, or else this is like a high, you can consider the lower top which is being formed as of now? That's what we are going to look up into this particular weekly mastermind session. So make sure you watch this particular video till the end. And first of all, if you're someone who is new to our YouTube channel or even on our Facebook page, welcome to this particular video and welcome to our YouTube channel and Facebook page as well. And weekly mastermind is something which we do every single Sunday at 5 p.m. Indian Standard Times. Like this is the video which will get uploaded for 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time, where we do the overall top-down approach in the sense that what were the different outperforming and underperforming sectors and what can be the overall scenario. We just do the overall analysis, and based on that, I'll also suggest you some of the things, some of the actions which you can take in order to make good returns out of your trading, or else it will at least save your money. Because in trading, I have also learned from my mentors is that sometimes it's also like no trading is equals to trading, which means when the market is not good, either it is in sideways zone, or even if you're someone who is just trading in equity, then when the markets are falling down, it's the time for you to be a fence eater, and you have to sharpen your skills at that point of time. And once you sharpen your skills, ultimately, even if you don't make money, but at least you will not lose money. So that's what one of the things which I've also learned from my mentors, and that is also what I implement into my own life as well. So let's begin with what Weekly Mastermind is all about. So Weekly Mastermind for 5th of November 2023, where first of all we will look up at like usually the agenda is as simple as that, and as similar in every single Weekly Mastermind. That first we will look up at market index, what are the different indices of India, like Indian stock markets are performing. Then we are going to look up at what are the outperforming and underperforming sectors so far, what are the current weekly gainers and losers, then some of the trending and tracking stocks, and at the end I'm going to share with you some of the previous cup pattern stocks, like how those stocks are performing right now. And first of all, we have like Nifty 50, which is up by 0.96. Then we have Sensex up by 0.91, which is not that bad move, but still it is not that even drastic move. But one point which I want to mention here is that since last 2 to 3 weeks, or I think since last 1 month, if you look up at all the weekly mastermind sessions, then you will be able to observe this one common pattern amongst all the indices, is that all the indices were completely on the downside. Like sometimes it was also more than 2% on the downside and so on. But right now, although it is on the flatter side, like not that very good move, but still it is good as compared to that particular negative movement. So Nifty 50 up by 0.96, Sensex up by 0.91%. Then we have Bank Nifty up by 1.25%, which is a very good sign. Then we have Midcap 50 up by 2.52. Then we have India VIX, which is down by 0.27, and USD INR is also in control, which means based on India VIX and USD INR, if both of these things are in control, which means the Indian markets are going to perform really well. So that's what this is one of the simple nugget which I gave you here. First of all, we have Nifty 50 chart where monthly has taken proper 60 support, weekly has taken like a change in polarity. As you can see, the previous all-time high zone which was created by end of 2022, that particular resistance is now acting as a support, which is also like a CIP. And even this is one of the topics which I've already covered up into this series called as Technical Saturdays. And from that point of time, it has properly formed a green candle, although RSI is between 40-60 as of now, but still it is turning its trend on the upper side. And on daily time frame, right now it is giving proper range shifts in terms of RSI as well. And right now, if you look minutely, then the panicness which was created for 3 days in last week, even that is the thing which we discussed in last 1 week itself. And at that point of time, I mentioned that the closing for that particular week is positive, which means there is a possibility that we can see furthermore follow up on the upper side. And that's the same scenario which we have seen so far. But this is like you can consider the resistance area itself, which means as you can see on weekly chart, the previous support can act as a resistance as well. There is a possibility, but overall perspective is right now looking very good. So there is a possibility that in next week it can break out of this particular smaller, we can consider smaller resistance, and it can break out of moving average as well. And we can look forward for 60 breakout and then all-time high zone in Nifty 50. Similarly, in terms of Bank Nifty, it is slightly almost around 59.60 in terms of RSI with very good green candle. So this is like a very good opening for this month. On weekly time frame, it has taken almost RSI 40 support, and in terms of daily time frame, since last 3 days, it is forming three consecutive dojis. And the main function of doji is to change the trend of any of the index, any of the stock specific after proper confirmation, which means right now the three dojis have been formed. So there is a possibility that by Monday's day, if we get proper green candle, then this particular rally can get continued on the upper side, or else if there is a formation of red candle, then there will be slightly zone of consolidation, because as you can see on daily time frame, RSI is between 40-60. So there is a possibility that it can consolidate for next few days, and then it can show whether it is going to move forward on the upper side or on the lower side. Similarly, right now we have sector-specific movement, out of which auto is one of the weakest performing, that is 0.76 on the downside, although that is not that bad move. But still, as compared to other indices, as you can see, reality, which is reality sector, which is up by 10.42, which is really very crazy. And then comes second best performing sector, which is media, up by 3.95. Then we have energy, which is up by 2.12. Then we have infra, which is up by 2.08. So these are some of the best performing sectors so far from last 1 week, which is a very good sign. And even this particular percentage sign itself, the percentage change itself, is giving us the signal that right now market is out of panic mode. And if we look up at the charts of it, so you can see that monthly, like in terms of Nifty IT, monthly is between 40-60, weekly is also between 40-60, daily is almost around RSI 40. So which means like long term and medium term trend are already in consolidation zone, and short term trend, for the short term trend, you can consider, because of panicness which was created in last 1 week, and like you can consider last 1 week of October, and last week, which was November week, first week of November. So at that point of time, whatever panicness was created, that impacted into the zone of bearishness. But there is a possibility that either it can continue to sustain in sideways zone, or else it can sustain below 40 itself, which will be bearish. Then comes Nifty Auto. So IT is something which we have to completely avoid. In auto, monthly, weekly, both are above 60. And on weekly time frame, it has taken proper like moving average support as well, which is a very good sign. And in terms of daily time frame, it has taken proper 40 support, which means it is mentioning that I am not so bearish. And there is a possibility that for next few days, it can consolidate and then it can move forward on the upper side, because long term and medium term trend are in an uptrend. So usually what happens is the short term trend, whether it can move into a sideways zone or it can go into a bearish zone as well for the very short term period, for 1 week, 2 weeks, and so on. And ultimately, those medium term trend and long term trend can pull those short term trend stocks or index specific as well to move forward and sustain in an uptrend. Similarly, we have Nifty Metal monthly between 40-60, triple bottom with triple top, which has been formed. Weekly is also between 40-60, daily slightly below 40. So as of now, Nifty Metal is what we have to completely avoid. Then comes Nifty FMCG monthly above 60, weekly emerging out to break out of 60, and then comes daily time frame, which is also between 40-60. So ultimately, once daily time frame will show strength, weekly time frame will also break out of 60, and it will also break out of moving average as well. So FMCG can also be kept onto our tracking list for upcoming week. Then we have Nifty Energy monthly almost resisting to cross 60 since last 4 to 5 months. Weekly is also right now emerging out to break out of 60, like a smaller correction which happened in last 2 weeks. Proper moving average support, and daily is also between 40-60. So ultimately, short-term trend should show strength in order to take these particular trends, that is like weekly and monthly, that becomes like a medium-term trend and long-term trend to move forward in an uptrend. And then comes Nifty Pharma monthly proper 60 support, green candle is being formed, and this is like a change in polarity area where the previous resistance can now act as a support, and it is acting because on weekly time frame it has taken proper moving average support, although slightly below 60, but still it is taking proper moving average support, which is also a very good sign. Then comes daily time frame as of now between 40-60, so we can keep an eye on pharma sector as well. Then comes Nifty Infra monthly above 60, weekly is also above 60, proper moving average support, and daily has already given proper range shift from being bearish to not so bearish. And even this is one of the concepts which I've already covered up into our technical Saturday series. So if you have missed it out, make sure you check that particular video as well. And even I have added that particular video in RSI Mastery series as well. You can check out on our YouTube channel. Then comes Nifty Realty monthly, weekly, daily, all are above 60. So as you can see, almost 10.42% move, which I already mentioned. that this was the overall momentum which we saw in Nifty Realty, and this is for the very first time, even since last so many years, which I am able to see into this particular sector, almost a crazy move of 10% on the upper side. So realty sector and the stocks which are in realty, like Nifty Realty and realty sector, those are the stocks which we can definitely trade for next week. Then we have Nifty Media monthly, almost around RSI 60 and double top, which is being formed. Weekly is also between, almost you can consider almost around 60, 61, and it has taken proper moving average support as well. So there is a possibility that it can take proper support and emerge out to break out of 60. On daily time frame, it has already broken out of moving average. So ultimately, the main thing is it should break out of 60, and then we will be able to see the strength even for the short term trend. Then comes weekly best performing stock from Nifty 50. First of all, we have Zeal Entertainment Limited, like the Entertainment Limited, which we have like up by 10.50, IOC, which is up by 10.36. Then we have BPCL, VEDL, Titan, Gale, and Hindalco. These are some of the best performing stocks so far from weekly, from Nifty 50. Uh, Similarly, weekly worst performers from Nifty 50. First of all, we have like M&M, which is down by 2.77, and then we have Maruti, which is down by 2.69. Then comes Dr. Reddy, Tata Steel, Bajaj Finserv, UPL, Axis Bank. These are some of the weekly worst performers from Nifty 50. And even if you observe this one single thing, that in last 1 week, we were only having two best performing stocks, and all the stocks were most of the stocks were completely on the downside. But this particular week, we have very good momentum on the upper side in most of the stocks, almost up by 2%, almost up by 10% as well. And from the weakness side, we are only having 2%, 3%, and all, which means the stock specific have also started showing strength, which is a very good sign. Then comes some of the trend following stocks where we have like monthly, weekly, daily above 60. So first of all, we have LNTFS. We have monthly, weekly, both are above 60. Daily is almost around 60, 61. So once it breaks out, we can definitely trade based on system 3. And this is, you can consider by force. I have chosen these particular stocks so that you can understand and you can trade as well based on your own risk management, because like a lot of people used to comment and a lot of people mention to me in one-on-one that whatever trend following stocks you're mentioning, we are not aware about what System 5 is all about. Either you should teach it, or else like you can mention more of the stocks which we can trade based on System 3. So that is why right now I've started to mention more of the stocks based on System 3, so that you can also not just analyze, but you can benefit from it. You can trade into it based on your own risk management, and then you can make profits out of it as well. And even right now we are having volume also, which is very good. And even this is like a 7-step process which we are following in order to do the analysis. Then comes DLF, monthly, weekly, daily, all are above 60. And even this is like a change in polarity area, where for the short term trend, it gave proper retracement and it took proper support from previous resistance, which was on monthly time frame, which means the stock is showing very good strength. And even on daily time frame, as you can see, the demand is increasing, the volume on the buying side is very good, which means there is something very good happening into this particular stock. Then comes Shriram Finance, monthly, weekly, daily, all are above 60. Daily has freshly broken out of 60. So we can definitely execute the trade based on like entry on that particular candle with that particular absolute candle low as a stop loss. And we can keep trailing for 1:3 and 1:5 risk reward ratio. Then comes ONGC, monthly, weekly, both are above 60. Daily is emerging out to break out of 60 after proper consolidation of almost 1.5 to 2 months. And once it breaks out, it will automatically start showing strength, because this is the main functioning of sideways zone, that ultimately, like longer the squeeze which is being formed, longer the sideways zone which is being formed, once it breaks out, it will give very good volatility on the upper side or on the lower side. And right now the stock is showing good momentum on the upper side, which means there is a possibility that in upcoming week, once it breaks out of 60, it can show very good momentum. Or else this could also be a scenario where it can resist to cross 60, and then it can again consolidate for next 1 or 2 weeks and then move forward on the upper side or on the lower side. This could also be the scenario, and I hope that this is the concept which is slightly on the deeper side, but you can watch this particular video multiple times so that you can understand all the concepts in depth. And that's what this scenario is all about. Then comes Sun TV, monthly, weekly, both are above 60. Daily has freshly broken out of 60. Even though since last so many days, so many weeks, market was in a panic mode, but these are some of the stocks which were actually performing good. And even one more nugget which I want to share here itself, that when market is falling on the downside, if there are certain stocks which are actually outperforming, which are performing on the upper side, although those are the stocks which are not giving drastic move, but still there is a possibility that once the downtrend or the downfall of that particular overall marketplace is over. Once market starts moving forward on the upper side, the stocks which were performing good, there is a possibility that those stocks can actually perform even drastically, and those are the stocks which can actually give us very good results, because ultimately those are the stocks which are outperforming and those are showing strength even though the market is in a downtrend and all. Then comes some of the tracking stocks which we as a community of the Achievers Club are also going to track for next week. So few of which are Canada Bank, monthly, weekly, daily, all are above 60 daily. And even this is the example which I took in Fibonacci retracement and Fibonacci projection as well. So right now, although it is slightly above 60, but it has formed a red candle. So ultimately, we are waiting for that particular green candle to get formed so that we can execute the trade. Then comes NMDC, monthly, weekly, both are above 60. Daily is again giving very low risk high reward opportunity, based on which, like, proper consolidation since last 1 week along the moving average, and once it breaks out, then there is a good possibility of very low risk high reward opportunity on this particular stock as well. Then comes Ramco Cement, monthly fresh breakout of 60 in last 2 months. Weekly is also sustaining above 60. Daily sustaining almost above moving average, and we are waiting for that particular green candle and 60 breakout so as to execute the trade. Then comes Titan, monthly above 60, weekly has freshly broken out of 60, and daily is yet to break out of 60. So we can wait out and we can watch out for this particular stock to break out. Then comes TVS Motor, monthly, weekly, both are above 60. Daily has taken proper moving average support after a doji. And even this is one of the things which I mentioned in terms of Bank Nifty as well. And if you are not able to remember, make sure you watch the video once again. And again, it has given proper green candle confirmation, but 60 breakout has happened. And there is a possibility that it can break out, it can give proper green candle, or else it can form a red candle and it can resist to cross 60 as well. So ultimately, once it breaks out, then only we can execute the trade with proper low risk high reward opportunity based on system 3. Then comes some of the previous pattern stocks which we have already covered up since last so many weekly masterminds. So first of all, we have Murudkera, where the resolution point was around 58.5 and current market price around 62.50, and this is almost like a 5 to 6 years cup which is being formed, and right now it's performing good. And if you look up at daily time frame, then we are actually getting a lot of low risk high reward opportunities in order to pyramid this particular stock. So if you have missed out on these particular trades, you can definitely go for the you can consider the shorter time frame so that you can get low risk high reward opportunities at least to enter. And then ultimately, as in when you make money on that particular trade, you can start pyramid and you can start pyramiding and start making compounding effects through your trades. You can start creating exponential results through your one trade with the help of pyramiding. Then comes NBCC, where the resolution point was around 68.85 and current market price is around 67.10. So proper breakout is yet to happen. And this is the stock which you can actually keep on track. And I hope that you are absolutely clear about all the things which we have discussed so far into this particular weekly mastermind session. And I hope that you are absolutely clear about what are the different sectors, what are the different stocks which we have to, you can consider, which are actually outperforming, which we have to keep a track in next week, and what are some of the stocks which we can trade in upcoming week. Although this is just a short glimpse, but still, because of time constraints, like we can't make a lengthy video every single week because not everybody will watch that. But just to make you understand that what actual analysis is all about, how that particular analysis looks like, and where do we actually put the entry, the stop loss, and what can be the potential targets and so on. So I hope that you're absolutely clear about this as well. And even in yesterday's video of Technical Saturday series, I've already covered this particular point of how do we actually determine and how do we actually calculate the potential target price and so on. That is based on Fibonacci projection. Make sure you check that particular video out, and make sure you're staying tuned, because I have mentioned since last 2 to 3 weeks that we are going to have new initiatives. That is, we are going to have our own podcast show. So our first ever podcast episode is going to get scheduled for 8th of November 2023, and the timing is set as 5 p.m. The video is already scheduled. Everything is already scheduled. The video will be scheduled as premiere. So make sure you watch that particular podcast on time, because the guest which we had, he has shared a lot of tremendous ideas based on values, morals, ethics, and many more things as well. He has given literally to the point, concise and precise advices for 20-year-old and 30-year-old individual as well. Even those lessons which I've got from that particular podcast, by listening twice or thrice, that itself gave me a lot of goosebumps, and that itself made me realize that what are the overall things which I need to work upon. So make sure you are staying tuned, and looking forward to see you all in first first ever podcast show, like first ever podcast show of our community, that is the Achievers Club podcast show, and in upcoming new initiatives as well, because right now we are only having 2 months. So hopefully we will be having one more video series with which we can actually finish this particular year in a stronger manner. We can set our goals, we can set our intentions, and how do we make the most out of these particular 60 days as well. That's what we are going to cover up. This is just in the idea phase, and if this is about to happen, then the videos will be out from, you can consider, after Diwali, almost from third or fourth week of November month. So make sure you are staying tuned for that particular update as well. And looking forward to see you in upcoming initiatives. Make sure, if you like this particular video, if you like the way I teach, if you like the content which I deliver into this, which I've already delivered into this particular session, please do make sure that you share this particular video with your friends and loved ones, and make sure you press that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming updates. And I'll see you in the next videos. Till then, live fully, love openly, and make the difference today. I wish you joy and abundance in all you do.